You're watching Pulse for the 24th of August, and it's time for some World of Warcraft news. In this week's episode, we take a look at a quick Gamescom roundup, a patch 4.3 Void storage preview, the latest official public test realm notes, and more. Let's get started. So as you all probably know, Gamescom has been over for a while now, but the information is still coming in. We've got a few more mentions on World of Warcraft patch 4.3 and all it's going to entail. Now, because I couldn't really find any other images to use here, I'm just going to show you a bunch of fan art from the official World of Warcraft site. You can find it all linked below. So, first up, the new 5-man dungeons are set to introduce the Deathwing raid. The Deathwing raid is going to be smaller than Uldar, but with many phases or encounters with Deathwing. So I'm assuming we're going to be fighting Deathwing a couple of times in the same raid. He's going to count as a couple of bosses and we'll get loot from said bosses when we defeat them. That means he's probably going to be running from us or something like that, which I don't think is very likely. We'll have to wait and see. We don't know very much about the encounter yet. Then we were told that patch 4.4 will bring a world event before the next expansion, but as far as we can tell it won't bring another raid or any other dungeons or anything like that. Now again, I'll just mention that MMO Champion did report this and it was all taken from different interviews via Digital Spy, Game Informer, All Avatar and Judge Hype. You can obviously see those full interviews linked below, but that's not the end of this news yet. We were also told that traditionally Blizzard only looked to release an expansion for World of Warcraft every 2 years, but they're looking to make a meaningful difference in that. Now we're not quite sure what exactly that means, but I'm assuming they're going to try to push the expansion out sooner rather than later. Since patch 4.3 is going to be the last proper content patch for Cataclysm, I would just go ahead and assume that they'd want to keep the players hooked, perhaps reveal their next World of Warcraft expansion at this year's BlizzCon and then go for a release in the first half of next year. I suppose it is plausible. Blizzard are known to be sneaky like that. Anyway, all in all, these interviews were a good read, and there are a couple of extras that we got from them as well. Paid guild transfers are apparently still in the works. Battle.net account-wide achievements are still coming. Armor dyes are pretty unlikely to be included in the game, but mount customization is a possibility. Class quests are unlikely to be returning due to the amount of time it takes to design and implement them. There are no new gold sinks coming soon, and a real money auction house is definitely not being planned for World of Warcraft. Now I don't know about all of you, but I'm pretty excited for all these changes. Sure, it's a bunch of small stuff, but all these little things add up and they will definitely improve the gameplay experience. I think the biggest and most important thing right now for Blizzard and World of Warcraft is to just keep their players hooked. They gotta keep releasing these previews, they gotta keep teasing, and I think that come BlizzCon they're gonna have to show something really big and really impressive to keep the players interested. With all the other big MMOs on the horizon like Guild Wars 2 and the Old Republic, it's gonna be tough for World of Warcraft players to stay committed. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, and let's move along. Next up, in patch 4.3, characters of all levels will be able to take advantage of a new technology known as Void Storage, which will open up 80 slots of long-term storage space. Void Storage vaults will be available in both Stormwind and Orgrimmar and can be accessed by simply speaking to your local vault keeper. We've been told that a variety of items can be placed into Void Storage, including soul-bound items and Battle.net account-bound items. It will cost though, and there's a slight catch. You'll lose all gems and or enchantments on the gear. They also said that this is not an extra bank. It's designed to be something much more long-term for those special sentimental pieces. In addition to all of that, Blizzard are also working on a bag search function for patch 4.3. This will allow you, with just a few keystrokes, to search for items in your bags, your personal bank, your guild bank, or in your Void Storage vault. So Blizzard are definitely taking inventory management to a whole new level. Again though, as I said about the transmogrification, it's not really new content, it's just a bit extra. It's a bit of polish to the game that I'm sure the players will appreciate, but it probably won't bring any players back that have already unsubscribed. So in the last of our big news, before moving into the smalls, we've got Public Test Realm patch 4.2.2. I can tell you right off the bat that there's not very much going on here. Just a couple of minor bug fixes. You can see them on your screen right now, or you can check them out below if you really need to. MMO Champion have told us that this build of the patch has been marked for release and should be on the live realms soon. With that done, let's head on over to the World of Warcraft smalls. So in the World of Warcraft Smalls this week, you can read about the Chinese Battle.net Invitational happening soon. You can check out a poll titled Round Round, Get Around, I Get Around. And no, I wasn't gonna sing that. Then also over at the official sites, you can check out a new lore story, this one featuring Tyrande and Malfurion. There are 2 new art updates to have a look at. The World of Warcraft trading card game Twilight of the Dragons set is now in stores. Apparently the Real ID party system is now live and no longer going premium. Yes, you don't have to pay for that anymore. Then there are 2 pretty interesting transmogrifying guides over at Wowhead. One for getting tier sets and the second, unique items and even more tier. It seems like the hacking group Lulzsec, when in their prime, tried to hack Blizzard and failed. You can read about the Curse Party at BlizzCon, check out the Weekly Marmot, Threat and the Future of Tankin, and lastly, Mindflame. I don't really need to say much more about Mindflame. Check out his channel, he's got a lot of cool new stuff up. Now let's check out the World of Warcraft Blue posts. The Blues had a bit to say this week on transmogrification, Death to Deathwing, Void Storage and more. On the Deathwing raid setting, on Blizzard playing other games, on Azeroth's good and evil not being clearly defined, and lastly on faction bias. So sadly that's all I have for you in this week's World of Warcraft news. Check back here soon for more. Remember to check the links below for all the information that I spoke about in this episode, but most importantly, happy storing your goods in the void.